Today on the Topping Show, Rand Paul's Not For Sale Act passed the House of Representatives. Ford reveals the Mustang 60th Anniversary Edition. They have certainly won the Pony War. Disney gets greenlit for a $1.9 billion renovation for their park. Students protest furries in public schools. Millennials want to retire by age 60. Senator John Kennedy on Senate, quote, tabling Mayorkas impeachment trial. And a food ban bill may kill treats like Cheetos and Lucky Charms. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I guess he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, try and get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have the Ford Mustang 60th anniversary to debut with a special trim, the champion of the Pony Wars. It is, I think, definitively, we can say that Ford won. Back in the day, you had the good old Chevrolet Camaro, you had the Dodge Charger, the Challenger, but unfortunately, in General Motors' infinite wisdom, that's a joke, obviously, they decided to kill the iconic Camaro, good old stick-shift V8 vehicle, and turn it into a EV two-door SUV. Brilliant idea, General Motors. Brilliant idea. Even though hybrids is the fastest growing category of automotive, GM must still go EV. That's a good idea. And then you have the new Charger that's going to be electric and a straight six, which for a BMW, a straight six engine, phenomenal. They perfected that thing for decades. But if you're used to the good old Hemi, good old V8, a muscle car, and now you're going to a straight six, that is anemic and disappointing to say the least. So I think it's fair to say that the Mustang did in fact win the Pony War. Unlike its competitors, it's also the only one that has never been discontinued. Don't get me wrong, there's been some horrific, ugly designs throughout the years, and the EPA certainly kneecapped most vehicles during the gas crisis in the 70s, so output was darn near to nothing. But the Mustang always pressed on. The Camaro was canceled, I think, 2 or 3 times throughout the years. Now, the Camaro looks like the 60th anniversary is going to get some cool wheels and other neat trim things. It's going to get, looks like a total of 1,965 vehicles. We'll get the retro theme package, but only for the GT premium trim, which, granted, that's the Mustang you really want. I mean, granted, if you want to get a V6 or an inline-4 engine Mustang, that's okay, especially if you get it with a stick shift. All vehicles should have that by default, of course. But it does make sense, 1,965, 1965, good old year. I appreciate that little attention to detail from Ford. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Chris Smith over at Motor1.com. They note that the Mustang is now officially 60 years old. They're going to be hosting a special event in North Carolina to celebrate the new trim called the 60th Anniversary Package. And scrolling down, they said that, for the record, this is only an appearance package, but for its credit, it is a pretty sharp uplift that stands out without being too subtle in your face. The wheels are likely the first items you'll notice. The 20 inchers in a simple 5-spoke pattern that draws heavily from the 1965 designs. It's a refreshing change in an era filled with complex, quote, snowflake wheel designs. Of course, there's more than this package. There's a shiny set of wheels. Get a little funny little pop-up video there. There we go. Now I can actually see a little bit of that good old pony. Or if it's easy to make it. Let's see here. No. There's got to be a way to make it full screen. Well, not so much. Really? Disappointment. Come on, Motor1.com. Try one more. Slightly better. A lot more angular than the older Mustang models. Yeah, there's got to be a way to get rid of that side banner. No? Alright, apologies for that. I got two pop-up banners. Ironic, they have a Kia pop-up banner above this Mustang collage of pictures and article. Looks like they got a nice little placard, maybe a faux carbon fiber or real carbon fiber dashboard or dash pieces. Good old 5.0 badge. The wheel rims look pretty good. It is oddly reminiscent of the old, 1965, the 60s era Mustang. They look pretty cool. Nice little subtle, little decal. It says 60 years on there, or maybe it's paint. Go really fancy. the face of the Mustang. I wish they did a compilation of it side by side to the original 1965. Face looks a lot more aggressive. And you got a little, the GT, and it says 60 years, riding on a little placard. Interesting. Not too bad for a convertible. Yeah. That's cliche to say, but... Oh, here we go. Here's a nice close-up. Oh, nice. And they do have the juxtaposition to the original Mustang rim. That is really neat. Plays on nostalgia for a little bit. You got the little center cap, kind of reminiscent. They got rid of the little rectangular banner behind it. That's not too shabby, Ford. And of course, kind of cliche, but of course you have the red, white, and blue, different color schemes to the vehicles. The ultimate American sports car, since, again, it's seemingly the last good sports car you can get in America, or, American-made, quote-unquote, that still has 3 pedals and a V8, as all sports cars and pony cars should have by default. Unfortunately, those are becoming rarer and rarer and rarer. Now, we go back to the article here. Scrolling down a little bit more. Nothing too crazy. They tell you that the 5.0 liter V8 makes 480 horsepower, driving the rear wheels with either a 6-speed manual or a 10-speed automatic. Ugh. Now, granted, me, I'm a little bit of a purist when it comes to automotive experience. I would only ever buy a vehicle with a stick shift, and aka having 3 pedals and manual transmission, the best, most fun you'll ever have driving experience. Bar none. So I understand they offer the automatic, but I don't know. To me, a Mustang should always have a stick shift. I mean, it's just so much more fun. They note that if you want the package on an EcoBoost or a standard GT, you're out of luck. It's only available in the GT Premium trim. At least you can choose between a convertible or a fixed roof. Now, not related to the anniversary package, comes the new Heritage Gauge Cluster for all 2024 Mustangs. Looks like the gauge cluster, that looks pretty cool. Of course, it's digital. It could look however the hell you want. They just... Well, that's ironic. So now we have a pop-up banner for Cadillac, which, yeah, talk about night and day in terms of, it looks like they're advertising a Cadillac SUV versus a Mustang. I'm not sure how effective that pop-up banner is, so nice try, GM, for your attempt at advertising. So it looks like they got some old, the old style little dials where you got the little actual needles on the dash. It's got the tire pressure gauge indicator, which is nice. I can't believe my modern car doesn't have that. It looks... I'm sure it looks beautiful, seeing it in person with an OLED. But that dash design looks pretty nice. Not too shabby. And of course, it says obviously they'll only build 1,965 Mustangs with the 60th anniversary packages. Obviously, so it debuted. Pricing will be announced towards the end of the year when it reaches dealerships as a 2025 model. So not too shabby for it. Looks pretty interesting. Now that being said, it's great news for Ford investors and Ford shareholders. Obviously going to be a pretty profitable endeavor to have this trim package when, don't get me wrong, there's a big upfront cost when it comes to castings, and I'm sure it's going to be a pretty penny to actually have the castings for the rims unless they're simply CNC'd. And it's just a couple pieces of plastic. I appreciate the gesture though. I wish they did maybe a little bit more. Maybe bore out the engine, make the engine a little bit more powerful, but that's just pretty cool, probably pretty profitable, maybe cost a couple $1,000s. If you had your choice, would you pay for a little bit more to get this special edition, and how much would you be willing to pay for the last remaining muscle car? As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.